to CBS.
Oh, cool. Excellent.
So, are we not getting the full agenda?
Oh, you took the whole packet?
Minutes?
Would you like us to go do that?
Okay, that's okay. I made a copy of my, I've got my,
I don't have any of that. I don't have that with me.
I'll remind her to grab it.
When,
Or just let us know. We'll bring-
No, it's okay.
I don't
We should
have-
keep her ready then.
Can you put it on the screen?
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
good, how are you?
All right.
You're in one of my favorite colors.
We're live,
Oh, yeah?
just so you know.
okay.
What are the others?
Black.
Oh, okay. I'll do that. Yeah. Depressed enough.
So, welcome to the Yountville Arts Commission meeting on Monday, April 7th. Could we have roll call? Hi, Cammie.
Hi there. Commissioners Hudson.
Here.
Captain.
Here.
Lay.
Present.
Dornbecker.
Here.
Vice Chair Resnick.
Here.
And Chair Shear.
Here.
And noting for the record, Commissioner Meredith is absent.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, we had two sets of minutes, and
Oh, pardon me to excuse. We also have to do the adoption of the agenda before we
Oh,
speak about the
forgive me.
minutes.
okay.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Sure, thank you. Okay, now, approval of the minutes for February 3rd. We had them in last week's packet, or did we not? Anyway, we didn't vote for it. We didn't vote to approve. Yes, we did.
Because one person was absent
Oh,
for the meeting, and so they couldn't vote. Yeah.
got it. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so is there a motion to approve? Are there any comments on the February 3rd meeting?
I move we approve the minutes for February 3rd.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm abstaining since I wasn't here.
Thank you. Thanks, PJ. So motion carries. And now the last meeting from March 3rd. There was a small error, but I don't have them in front of me, so what do I do? I abstain, I guess.
What was that?
I had a just a small thing in the minutes.
I think there's helpful, but
I don't know if I can. I'd have to.
yeah, you don't have to abstain. You don't have to abstain from voting, but we can always make that correction, or we can bring the minutes back to the next meeting if you don't want to vote today, if it was a substantial issue.
It was just a small issue. If I could I email Cammie about? Yeah. Okay. Okay. So all in favor?
I move we approve the minutes of March 3rd with the addition of Rhonda's suggestion or correction.
I'll second.
So all in favor of approving with my small correction, which I will get to Cammie. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So the motion carries. Thank you. Are there any public comments? Sam? No. And do we expect anybody to enter? I'd like to introduce Linda Faber, who's been coming to our meeting, so thank you for being here, Linda. Okay, so Art Fund report.
All right. So in your packet were the Art Fund reports. Also try to bring it up here. Sorry about that. Just give me 1 minute. So it a bit to load. So no real surprises here. Obviously, expenses are greater than actuals. This is the report ending February. So the March report will show the revenue from artists from Art Sip and Stroll for their booth fees that it's has come in, but you won't see that yet. And so no real surprises there. Also showing art revenue for art sales, and then any expenses there for sculptures or gallery sales. And then the Public Art Restricted Fund has no change since the last report. We still have about $8,000 left in that fund, and have done some analysis, as you might recall, and I just wanted to remind you. So the town council did vote in our 2-year budget process to sustain this fund as needed, to keep the art walk moving. And so although we only have $8,000, we are going to be placing a few sculptures in the next couple weeks. So that'll draw down a bit, and some maintenance will occur that'll come out of this fund as well. And so we may or may not end up needing any of the town council subsidy this year, but it is also there in next year's budget of $25,000 as well. And we also have, at least for the next 2 years, the TID has approved funding the art walk with $10,000 a year. So we have that funding mechanism as well. So as commercial building projects have slowed, I say this all the time to you, so it's not the first time, the fund is continuing to diminish. And so having that support from the town council to keep it sustained until we build it back up again is important. And I'm happy to answer any questions on the general funds. There was a lot of detail that I did not include in your paper packet. And then the next part of the report is the Town of Yountville Community Foundation. I know I'm skimming through this really fast. Don't look. I'll make you dizzy. And there's been no change to that fund. It takes me a minute to open it. So there's been no change to the art fund balance there. We're just over $66,000 continuing in the Yountville Town of Yountville Community Foundation Fund. So happy to answer any questions.
The TID is only for the art walk.
So the TID, we have 2 funding mechanisms from them. One is for Yountville, or for Art Sip and Stroll. So they've continued that at $10,000, majority of which we use for marketing. And then this just starting this year is $10,000 specific to the art walk. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Okay, Art Walk Subcommittee. A little more activity. Samantha, we talked about Amanda Markle, as she's the one who did the coyote, or is doing the coyote for us. She called, and it was looking like she was going to have to put it off now until October. So we had that conversation, and she called last week and said she's worked it out, and she will now be here. She says maybe the week before Art Sip and Stroll.
Oh, okay.
But by Art Sip and Stroll. So I just asked her
good.
if she would please avoid that Friday, if she could, and get here during the week, which she said she would. I'm talking to another artist, Thomas Ramsey, who's going to be at Jessup Cellars the end of the month. I think it's April 25th. And it's another one of Julie's. I'm sorry, not having a hard being clear today. Anyway, he's going to have 2 sculptures there, and we're going to be talking if either is appropriate for the art walk. He seems really nice, and he's very interested, so that's another one. And then we have one to look at today.
Bring that up. Let me bring up the photos of Sunburst.
Yeah. So this is Dale Rieger, who seems to have found his home in the Petit Logis small pad. And it works. Jay Caldwell likes it. It's only, I think the pad's only 2.5 feet or something like that. So it's hard to find something that goes there, although we have had other pieces in the past. But I'm fine with another Dale piece. He submitted this 2 ways. One has the headdress that has the curly things that come out of the top. And the top of this, it's hard to see from these pictures, but it does have kind of an angle. So the other, he doesn't have to put those in. So it can be without. Did he send a picture? Yeah, there we go. So that's it without. And, I didn't want to make that decision. We've had them both ways. And I wanted your input if you have any
I have a
feelings.
question. I love the one with the little tendrils coming
Okay.
out. And that would be my choice to vote on. However, when we've had the tendrils before, they don't break off easily, do they? That would be my only concern.
It's tall. This piece is tall.
Oh,
first of
okay.
all. But no, it's a good question. But they're that wiry
Oh, so they bend.
coated, yeah.
Okay, great.
So it's a headdress he can either drop in or not.
That's just.
So even with,
I love it.
yeah, without the headdress, it's 86 inches tall. So
Oh, nice.
it's fairly tall.
Yeah.
I like the headdress too.
I
I'd-
like the
I would go
headdress.
with that.
I like the address too.
Okay, done. Then, Sam, do you notify him, or do you want me to?
If you can go ahead and vote, and then either way, I'm happy to, or you can reach out to him. Yeah, and I believe, is he coming for Art Sippin Stroll?
He is.
He is. So most likely he'll probably want to bring it with him. Yes.
He will,
Okay.
and he'll take the one that's there.
Perfect.
He wouldn't mind that.
I wouldn't either. I think they're fun.
I move we approve this sculpture.
I second it.
So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So motion carries. Thank you. The headdress is on. And I'll work out with him when he wants to do that, but
Okay.
he probably will do it the day before Art Sip and Stroll.
Okay.
But I'll ask him.
We will figure it out.
Pardon me?
We will figure it out.
Thank you. So also, a couple of other things. Sam, in your notes to Seward Johnson, we talked about what are we going to do to clean up Sidewalk Judge, who really needs to be cleaned up. Are we going to restore him on our funds, or are they going to?
Yeah, I will include that in my message to them that we would like to move forward with that, whichever way works. I mean, I would, at the very least, I think they need to provide us some information on how to best do it, and then we can see if we can find a good fit to do that locally. What we learned, and I didn't realize, is that he's actually painted on. So that's he's bronze with paint on top. So that's what you see wearing away is the paint. But they do send restoration people out, is what Lynn had shared. So if they're in the area for something else, or if there's sculptures coming this way, they usually send someone who can touch them up. So we were hoping maybe we could piggyback on that, but I will follow up.
With all the attention we're hoping to throw on that event, it would sure be nice to have, because he really needs it. I didn't realize, but when you start really looking at him, he needs it.
Do we know what the cost involved is for that?
No.
We know that restoration is expensive. And I suppose foundries have experience with bronze paint. Maybe they would send us the paint at the very least, but it takes time, and these foundries are so busy.
I would imagine that his foundation would want to send someone if it involved painting.
Yeah, I
touching
think
up
the
that
difference
way.
is that we own this piece. So it would really be about, what I think when the discussion was really around if they were, because there's a lot of discussion with bee sellers and us about bringing more sculpture out, that it was kind of like, well, if we're coming out anyways, we'll come by and touch him up. But if it's just specifically for that, I'm not sure what that might look like, travel costs or whatever. But it's, we'll reach out and ask for sooner rather than later. And then, we do have the foundry we worked with on Chaos Pamplona that we may be able to work with in other areas, or there's, I think, others that may be able to help too. So we do have the money in the foundation fund that we could tap into for that type of restoration.
Hey, he's old. I think it's okay, really. Just saying.
Yeah, you could tell where people either
Some of us look good,
people touch his leg, and like there's certain areas that you really notice it. But she was pointing out, because of his proximity, of course, to the street and stuff, you just don't realize how much grit and stuff ends up on sculptures and wears away over time. So.
And then the last thing under Art Walk, Cindy has always taken care of the two forums that I use a lot.
Right.
And you two, we've talked about it before, we're going to get together and you were going to show her what you do and what she needs to do. Is that okay? One of them is a sculpture index, and one of them is more of a sales price list.
Right.
But I use them both when people call, because they give a lot of information, pad size and artist contact and all of that. So they're out of date now. And then as we start making changes on the art walk, they're going to be more out of date. So as we move forward on the new art walk map, if we could try to get that coordinated with those, would be helpful. Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Rhonda, one other thing. I've noticed that as I've been playing around with literary works for the art walk, that the map and the webpage are not consistent as well.
We
So,
just went through and updated.
oh, really?
One of them might be older.
The web page or the audio tour?
The audio tour.
Oh, okay, that's different. Okay.
Yeah.
The audio tour is outdated?
Well, the numbering or the sequencing of them seems like it's different. I can go through and identify. I'll do that. Identify what I saw at least as distinctions, and if you're going to do a new map, we could maybe at least make sure it's consistent with that. Because I was looking at literary pieces and trying to get a list of the whole thing, and I'm pretty sure there were at least 2 or 3 that were not consistent with the two.
It's possible, Jeffrey, because we've had a lot of activity.
Yeah. No, I understand.
I don't remember when we ran the art walk map
Yeah.
last, but we're just looking at a new version of it.
Yeah.
So
It probably makes sense to wait for that to be done, and then we'll go and, because some of the sequencing is changing on this new map, so then we'll go through and we can update the art walk tour.
Okay.
Yeah.
But thanks for mentioning it.
Sure.
Every once in a while, I look at it and it's like, that's not up to date
Yeah.
on what's online.
Yeah.
And then Sam or Caitlin just goes in and fixes it. So
Okay.
okay, we'll watch it.
Thanks.
Were you gonna say? Did you have?
No. Well, I'm just, I don't know how, I'm not, I mean, there are 35 sculptures, so I can't, think of it right now. But, yeah, we could do that. That's probably the most difficult thing to do on the audio tour, is to update it, because you need to find the longitude and latitude of a particular spot, and the numbering gets a little wonky, and I just, so it's harder than it sounds. Yeah.
So that brings up the question. I was going to raise it during gallery. I completely forgot about the QR codes with Jose and Janice. I just
Right. Yeah.
And Cindy emailed me the day we opened, I think.
Yeah.
So it was too late, and it's a month-long show. So, maybe it's not the most important thing. But in the future, particularly Sue Johnson and also John Sensenbaugh will want the QR codes and also the art walk. So who is going to take care of that in Cindy's absence, which is, I think, no. No.
Yeah. So my thought was that would become a staff role if no one else has interest in doing it, just because it makes sense. And now we have Caitlin. I think it makes the most sense for that to become a staff role.
Okay, so then the artist will, or by staff, are we talking Caitlin or you? Or,
Yeah, both of us, but for the most part,
then,
Congratulations.
I'm in the supporting role on that, but we'll update. We've discussed it, and we'll update both of the documents that you're talking about, and then it'll be our job to make sure the art walk tour gets updated at the same time because they all kind of flow in together, and so I think it makes the most sense for us to maintain those.
and the gallery as well, when we change gallery?
Oh yeah, the QR codes for the gallery. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the artist will be in touch with you and Caitlin,
Yeah.
and then you'll give them what they need. They seem to get it. They seem to get how to do it. How
Yeah, Cindy
I
has
like
a
it.
great little
Yeah.
instruction sheet
Yeah,
that we'll share, and I think something I'm thinking too is we'll maybe come up with a little, because we do the art walk agreement or the gallery agreement, but maybe something more instruction to that the artists get that say, here are the things we need from you. That's kind of like a
That would be good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I
that'd be
do.
helpful because then they're not surprised with it at the end,
Right,
too.
right,
Yeah.
especially when they're hanging and stuff. But
yeah. Yeah, we'll work on that. But yeah, I think unless there's another very passionate commissioner that wants to take on those more kind of administrative things, that we're happy to take that on.
Well, I think that would be wonderful.
I'll defer to your expertise.
You don't want to do that, Jeffrey?
I was going to, but no, I'm happy not to.
Cindy spends a lot of time working with the artists and getting it done. So, so thank you both. That would be great.
And thanks for getting that going, Cindy. It's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
nice to have,
It's,
I think.
it's great.
I did have one last question, and I know we commissioners did some of the voicing for the on the art walk,
all of them.
all of them. But in the gallery, are they also
They're in the artist's voice.
in the artist's voice? Oh, cool. Thank you.
Okay, Jeffrey, you want to discuss gallery subcommittee? No,
Or I.
both of you?
I mean, both of us. I submitted the.
Yeah.
I'll pull that up.
Nothing new.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I submitted our spreadsheet, and it really hasn't changed significantly.
It's a great form.
and
Thank
then-
you.
It is.
Yeah, thank you.
We had a field trip that we'll talk about next time. Oh, sorry, we had a field trip and met an artist that we'll present next time for approval.
Hello.
Great. So it's through to the Youth Art Exhibit of 2025 into 2026.
Now we're talking about 2026.
Yeah. Great.
Any questions?
So, well, we installed Viva Colares, and we had our opening last weekend, and we were the very last,
Oh, wow.
Sad as that.
actually the second to the last, right? In the Yountville Sun, which it's always a really nice boost, and they ran a nice article for us. And I think we had a fair turnout. What did you two think, Caitlin and Sam?
I think it was a great turnout. There
Yeah.
had to be at least 60 people around in and out of the gallery space.
And it's so comfortable with the two rooms. We're sort of getting spoiled with that. And the doors, I didn't miss the doors, but I didn't notice that they were gone. Is that, did that,
That was a thing, Rhonda. That was a thing.
was it?
What are you talking about?
Did you come to the art reception? Oh, okay. So we tried taking the doors off to the heritage room because you know when because they open out, they usually block the art. Yeah, we did it.
Oh,
And it was nice. It really was.
Really was
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
It was nice.
what was
yeah.
the problem? Is it
I don't want to talk
difficult?
about it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is that bad?
It's still traumatic?
Yes.
Okay.
No. But something I am going to be looking at is the possibility of having new doors put on that open in. So that's something that I'm going to look at. So
Oh,
Even with the fire department, can we do that?
it's a question I have to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That would certainly solve the problem, but I understood anyway that they have to push out.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
I'll ask, but you never know.
Yeah.
If they could go all the way in against the wall, it would
Yeah.
be even better,
would be-
too.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Pocket-
So we
pocket.
tried it, and we'll maybe try it again. But
Barn
we'll see.
doors.
Some sort of change there.
Barn
We
doors
do
on
need
the
doors there.
Slide over, open.
slide on the inside.
Yeah, I don't know about that. It's an old building, but
Oh,
yeah, we tried it. It was nice. It was a nice flow. I agree with you
It
on
was,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the effort.
Yes.
I had forgotten about the door closures until we looked at it.
Yeah.
I mean, they get installed. And
I know they
So,
do. Yeah. It wasn't really the door. It was the person doing it.
You.
It's okay. I'll tell you some other time.
I can almost guarantee that there's somebody sitting over at Public Works who would love to roll
Watching
in and
this moving. Yeah. Meeting.
solve the door problem and tell about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
dartboard over there.
With all our pictures on it.
And we had a meeting with John Sensenbaugh, who will be the artist in the gallery at Art Sip and Stroll. And he's made a suggestion. Is that all right to talk about? He has decided he doesn't want to sell any of his work, which is, that's what we do, and that's what people want to see and so forth. But in return for that, he will make a very handsome donation to us of $10,000, which will go into our community fund, which will be at our disposal for good things that we do. And so I talked to Sam, who thinks it's okay. And I talked to Noelle so we can kind of adjust our marketing approach. We went through and took out everything is for sale out of everything. And so that's what we're rolling with at this point. We had a good meeting with him, and Marita was there. So that was the outcome for Would This Be Wood?
What's the reason?
He said, I love my art. I don't want it to go away. I don't want to sell it. I want it.
They're like his children.
Yeah.
They are.
So we were sort of astounded, but actually knowing John, I'm not that astounded. He's unique.
So that catches you up from my end. So Jeffrey, is there anything on the gallery subcommittee that you would like to speak about?
No, we're just, Cindy and I spent some time with a potential artist for 26, and I'm kind of excited about that. And we'll keep it going. Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for setting it up, Cindy.
Right.
So can I ask a question just as you're talking? So currently, I believe, is Cindy the chair of the gallery subcommittee? And so as you're cycling off, is that something that, Jeffrey, you're interested in? Okay. Did you already
plan to
decide
take
that?
over,
Okay,
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
Just helps me in my thought process.
Do you want to remain chair, or do you want Jeffrey to take it over now so that you're...
Oh, I don't,
Your choice.
Yeah, it's your choice.
when, how long?
July. I was going to talk about it at the end, but in my reports, but the terms are up in July.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, next, why don't you go ahead and take over,
Okay.
and I'll help out, because
Okay.
I'm not sure I'm going to be.
Your mic's not on. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Hit your
sorry.
button. You're not sure you'll be at the next meeting?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then it'd just be one more meeting, so.
No, it's nice to have some overlap too.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
that
yeah.
you're not going to be right here for us to bother you,
Right.
but
I just won't be ambulatory in
Yeah.
May.
okay. No, that's great.
Thank you very much.
So thank you for stepping up, Jeffrey.
Sure.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Cindy.
For Cindy.
Oh, look at all of this.
Yeah, please. It's like a book.
What'd we miss?
It's because it's not printed
Sorry,
on the
Misty.
back. It's not printed front to back.
Okay. So, thank you,
I know where you work.
It was 41 pages. Yeah.
Thank you.
Jeffrey. You're up again.
Yes, the Literary Committee. No update on whether we're doing another handwritten. I'm still kind of waiting on that. The Writing Celebration Group is coming to a close tomorrow evening and doing our celebration, 5:30 to 7 in the Heritage Room. Invite you all to attend if you'd like. There'll be those. I'm not sure how many will be there to read. I'm hoping more than have been coming consistently, but we'll just see. Marianne and I are going to read a piece as well. There'll be some refreshments. I did get some wine, so we'll provide that also. And and I forgot to pick it up, so I'll be going up and picking it up. Thank you, Jeffrey, for reminding me. We will, so anyway, you're welcome to come by and do that. We're also doing may revise this for the fall, where we'll have a drop-in group rather than an ongoing kind of committed group that people can just drop in and present some of what they're doing, writing, and getting some feedback and having discussions. So we may end up trying something like that for the fall and see where that goes as a slight alternative to what we have been doing. The bookmark writing contest is underway. We have, in fact, it opened today, didn't it? Yeah. And it'll be open till May 20th or 27th, something like that. So there's a lot of time to submit. We're really encouraging more young people to do that. I dropped off a packet of flyers, previous winning bookmark stories, a copy of the student's bookmark that won it last year. As an encouragement to saying, yes, this can happen. And we're reserving 2 spots again for youth winners. So I've dropped off packets to St. Helena High School, Justin Sienna, Vintage, New Tech. Marianne is working with a poetry group in Napa, and so she's dropped off flyers and talked there. And I also had a conversation with one of the English teachers at Unidos when we were doing the tour, and they got interested, so I dropped off a package for her at Unidos, too, for the middle school kids. So I still need to get to Calistoga and American Canyon, but people seem interested and excited, so I think I'm pretty sure we're going to double our participation from last year at least. I'm hoping to get 2 this year, minimum. But I think we'll get some good participation from this. We're working on a few more literary pieces for the art walk. It's about half full, half empty right now, as we've had some other literary pieces, but the art has gone away, so has the literary pieces. But we're working on getting a few more of those, and I'm looking, I don't know if it's possible, Sam and I need to talk about whether we'll have a chapbook or not. I'm still hoping we can, but we'll have to see. We're working on that. I've also set up Yountville Out Loud for September 18th, 5:30 to 7, so that's established so people can see that as they're planning other kinds of things. I was going to do it for the week before, and I thought, 9/11? No, that's not a good idea. So we skipped that and let people deal with that in other ways, and we'll hold out loud on the 18th. I think that's all I have. Any questions?
Just a comment. Bravo.
Thank you.
You
Thank you,
really,
Jeffrey.
you're just soaring with all of your events and all of your programs, and it's just fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Most of this didn't exist previously.
Yeah.
And since you've really found a happy place, you've just done an amazing job with it, Jeffrey.
Thank you. And I'm really particularly happy with the bookmark story contest. I think it's getting more and more people interested, and it's kind of a fun thing to do. I'm getting a new, each year I pull a new reader in for that, for a group of 4 evaluators. And I am going to meet with Friends of the Yountville Library next week, I think it is, to ask for funding. We haven't, because they lost a major funder, they haven't been as sure, so I needed to go back. And one of the things I'd like to do is eventually expand this just a little bit, but I haven't really done enough footwork to announce that yet, but I'm hoping to expand this a little bit, but we'll just see. So I'll meet with them for ongoing support from that group as well for the prize money.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeffrey. All right. So marketing.
Marketing.
Hey.
Mustard Celebration is showing the love again for Yountville Arts. Visit Napa Valley. Visit Napa Valley sent out a Mustard Celebration email blast, but in it was Napa Valley Art in the Open. And one of the highlights was the Yountville Art Walk, so that was really nice to see that come from their organization. Art Sip and Stroll, we delivered a full-page ad to 6557 magazine for the spring edition, and that has since dropped. You can find it online digitally. I believe the magazines are coming shortly. They haven't been delivered yet, Sam? They'll be coming shortly. They make a one-time delivery all around, and we have a lot coming to the community center. But look at 6557 digitally. I have the pages listed here where you can see the layout. It's fabulous. It's a 3-page layout with photos, and then also a full-page ad. The ad's on 67, and the layout and photos is on 93 through 95. And it's really fabulous. We love it.
Looks good.
Yeah.
You're happy?
Definitely. I sent the poster and copy to Napa Valley Life since they have limited space. Much of their space was taken up by Mardi Gras with photos, which is wonderful, supporting Yountville. But we did get a nice paragraph in the front of the magazine about Art Sip and Stroll and all the details for that. And we have updated the rack card. It's all ready to roll, correct? And
Rack cards and posters are coming. They've been shipped, Sam. Did I send you that? The tracking numbers and whatever? Okay.
You told me they shipped, or were
shipped.
shipping, but yeah.
They shipped. So
And they're really beautiful. Although the poster you've seen, the rack card really highlights some of the fabulous art that we have at Art Sip and Stroll this year, and you'll see that when that comes out. For the gallery, I recently pitched a story also to 6557. We feel that this is a show that would really benefit being in a magazine of that caliber. Especially since Seward Johnston is world-renowned, and we're so excited to have the snack trays coming to the gallery, and we'll see how that goes. We've also started putting together the marketing material, so we're going to be working on a press release and just collateral material to go out and support the event, in addition to possible events surrounding the actual gallery show to also promote it. The Chamber newsletter went on March 28th, had a nice ad for Viva Colores. And also Rhonda shared with you the March Yountville Sun, which was beautiful, more the color pictures, article, more than the front page. It went on to, I think, page 8 also. So a lot of good coverage there. And as Rhonda mentioned, there was a meeting with John Sensabaugh to discuss not only the gallery show, but the marketing of the gallery show. So his press release, I believe, is finalized, or any last-minute changes pending from Sam and Caitlin. So that will be going out, and we're just working on other possibilities to market his show, not only through the gallery, but also through Art Sip and Stroll. And we'll keep that going. And also, let's see, Marita, before that, this past Saturday, the Chamber sent out an email blast which included Art Sip and Stroll and also the video. So we really got a lot of FaceTime there, which was really great. And then once again, we were talking about papers and how difficult it is to market through actual physical papers that people pick up and read. Digital seems to be happening, but we really feel that broadcast, which Marita has done a fabulous job with Art Sip and Stroll, that broadcast is really a key component, and I'm going to let you talk a little bit about that. I know you may not specifically mention,
Right.
but you can talk about the overview of what you're
Okay,
doing.
the overview is that I'm working with several TV stations, and a new one is in Sacramento. So I think that would be a good fit for us. People from Sacramento would drive, it's only an hour. And so I'm sending them a letter in addition to a press release that outlines it all. And I am personally familiar with all of the contacts that I have. So I'm hoping that will, I can't promise, I can never promise, but I think that they do sound pretty positive about it so far. So I'm going to follow up, and then I'm just going to bug them like hell. I mean, I take that all back.
Are you going to reach out to Roberta again? Or?
Oh, yes. Excuse me. Roberta Gonzalez is a good friend of mine on Channel 2 Weather. So I will definitely, I didn't have her on this list today, but I will add her.
She did a great job for us last year.
She'll do anything I ask.
Ask away. Thank you, Marita. You've done a fabulous job on this.
Well,
it's worth its weight in gold. It's just the viewers that get covered with broadcast.
Well, I'd really
Can't touch that with a lot of other things.
I'm really hoping that it'll be on KTVU and 2 CBS stations, and that'd be really helpful. So, all right.
It would, thank you.
My plan.
And to you too, Noel.
Oh, pleasure. And that's a good send-off, Marita. I think your history project, I know, is in the works, and it's getting some final touches put on it.
Oh, good.
And I know you'll report on it as soon as that gets finished up.
Yeah.
Unless you have any words you'd like to say now.
Well, I'm looking forward to the history project being complete. I don't have a format for it and things like that, so I'll get together with Samantha and ask for her help, because as far as the layout and everything, I don't have the logo and all the rest of it. So I'd really appreciate if we could send the logo to me electronically, because I also would like to put that on my letters to the TV station.
Okay.
Okay?
The Yountville Arts logo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's all for marketing.
And a great report, as always. Thank you. Thank you both.
Thank you both.
All right. Oh my gosh, guess who's here tonight?
I'm so excited
PJ's
to be here.
We are too.
I have missed you guys so much. But while I was away, I wasn't really away because I did tune in to the meetings. So, although
Thank
the first
you.
one I know I wasn't able to because the link, there was something wrong. But the last one, I was there. I was watching and listening.
Thank you.
But for performing arts, let's see, just a few things. Summer concert series, all of the bands are booked. we have the Jacob Benning Band, the Traveling Wilbury Review, People of Earth, and the Fog City Swampers. So they're all locked and loaded and ready for summer concert series. Upcoming on April 24th, we have our Legacy Roundtable, Veterans of the Valley. So everything is set for that. We're just still trying to churn away and hope ticket sales start boosting. I know I've sent the link out to several friends. I don't know, Sam, if there's been any more since you reported last week.
No, we're still at 8.
Okay,
Yeah.
so fingers crossed that we get that one going, because this is just such an important one, because we've got these wonderful speakers coming from the Veterans Home. We have someone from each of the branches of the armed services, and the notes that they sent me about their careers and their background are just fascinating. So I'm so excited for it. So if there's, anything that anyone, if you personally can remind your friends or send out the link. I know, Sam, that I just saw it in the latest town feed, and I know it's in the Park and Rec guide that just went out. So hopefully we're going to get that boosted and have good representation of ticket sales for that. Only thing I'm waiting for on that, I know there was somebody in town from a winery that had reached out, but I'm not sure who they were. They didn't identify themselves in their email, and it looked like a personal.
I think it's Priest Ranch.
Okay, because I know Judy was coordinating that, and I've asked her to let me know what the status is of that, since I know she won't be here for the event. So we'll get that figured out. What else we have? Well, I guess I'll just mention, I know it's part of the Art Sip and Stroll, but we've got the bands, I think, selected for that. Did you hear back from Jacob Benning yet?
Yes, I think we're all set.
Okay, perfect. So we have Chad and Monica, Jacob Benning solo act, and Michael Padilla, who he performed last year also. He's an amazing flamenco guitarist, so he'll be there as well. So we have those locked in. We have later this summer, we're slated to do Bottle Shock, the movie in the park, our adult-oriented movie in the park. And I will be reaching out to and hoping to get Chateau Montelena, Gurgitch Hills, and Stag's Leap to come and pour wine. They seem like the natural ones. So hopefully we'll have them there. Just like last year, we had the wineries there to support us for when we had the Rex Pickett Sideways.
Excuse me, PJ, did some of my suggestions of veterans to contact help?
Yes.
Good.
Yep.
And are there any women veterans?
No. No.
That's a shame. Anyway.
But yes, that was a big help. And
glad.
ultimately, Josh came through.
Oh, good.
Yes.
He's a good guy.
He is a good guy. I've had mixed results. He's always very nice, but I've had mixed results in terms of his follow through. But I pestered him a couple of times, and he said, okay. And then, yes.
Oh, I'm
Then
glad he came through.
in a big way. So
Good.
yes, thank you.
So 8 tickets and it's 2 weeks away. So what's Sam?
I think we discussed a minimum would be 16, so we're really trying to push it, but probably within the next 10 days we'll make a decision. Yeah.
I know. I mean, I'm not sure what else to do other, again, I've been, sending the link to my friends and saying, I hope that you can come, and mentioning it to people.
I'll send it out to a bunch of my friends who know some of those veterans.
Okay, thank you.
There's isn't there a VFW group in Napa? You know what? There's the hall, right?
Yeah, there's the hall. I'm not sure of membership or
the
how
membership
that all
of the-
works. Yeah.
And the veterans themselves have been invited, not the 4, but throughout the home. I mean, is stuff posted, or I don't know.
I have asked that of Josh, but it's difficult to know what they really do.
Yeah.
But I will continue to follow up with him.
They used to have a bulletin board in their eating room or something where you could stick things. I don't know. I know it's not easy to really even get on the ground, so, but maybe sending him our flyer and asking him to stick it up there. It's too bad. It's hard to get them down here.
I know it is. It is.
Yeah.
But fingers crossed that it's all going to come together. I still feel positive that it will.
Good.
I think there'll be a lot more interest because the veterans did host a rally for veterans benefits and all of that, and there were over 150 people there. So I will reach out, find out if I can, and also I'll poke Josh a little as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Be great. Thank you.
Have you talked to the chair of the Allied Council?
She,
The chair of the Allied Council
right,
for the veterans?
it's a woman.
Yeah, she's the chair of the Allied. It's their governing body
Yeah,
for the veterans.
I'll
And,
reach out to her.
yeah, and there's also an activities coordinator.
Marita, you would be perfect to do, to help on this.
I will. I will.
Thank you.
I think it's important, though, that if you know people outside of that aren't veterans, because I think a lot of times the interest in hearing from a veteran is not from other veterans. It's
Right.
they want to be telling their story, more widely. So we pushed it out in a lot of different areas. So if you know of anybody or your contact list, I think that's helpful.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Welcome back.
And the ticket price is $30, is that correct?
It's 20.
20.
So since this is an other committee, the logo pieces, the bags have been delayed. We hope that we should have had them for the Viva Colares opening. But I learned a few days before that they'd been delayed. And now we hope to have them by Art Sip and Stroll. That's for the tote bags. And then Sam has the caps.
Yeah, I didn't forget to bring one, but the caps are here. Yeah, so we'll have those for sure to sell at Art Sip and Stroll.
Yeah. And did we get 100 or 50?
We got 100.
100.
And how much are you selling those for?
Probably, I think if I take the tax out, our cost is right about $20. So, I mean, we don't really need to make money. It's just to get the word out, but maybe 25.
30 or 35, 25?
25. If we make a couple bucks on them, I'm fine with that. So, yeah.
And do you know what the bags will cost or what they'll sell for?
I can't remember their cost to us off the top of my head.
Okay.
I think they were a little more, I want to say.
40,
Yeah.
45, something like that.
Okay.
They're that heavyweight.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So they're imported, and that's causing problems. So we'll see, but hopefully we'll get them for Art Sip and Stroll. If pressure amounts to anything, we'll get it. Okay, so Mustard Celebration is over. It wrapped up at Copia on the 31st, so I don't think I've talked to you guys since then. The Copia event was a great event, well attended, well organized. I'm sure there was a lot going on behind the scenes, but you wouldn't have known it from the event. And it's 2 days, which is a long event, and most of the artists seem pretty happy. About half of the artists will be at Art Sip and Stroll, and so we'll see them again, and they're looking forward to it. But I think overall the Mustard Celebration season did pretty well. A lot of good events, a lot of participation from food and wine and arts, which is what we wanted, and I don't know what the stats are. We haven't had a wind-up meeting, but I hope that there are stats on how many people came from out of town, because that's really the key. So that's, I think, unless you have any questions, that's it for Mustard Celebration. We did, of course, Find Your Heart and the Right from the Heart. So Yountville was represented, and all good. And I'm sure it's going to continue next year.
Rhonda, I have a question. Did the sheep sell?
Did they so?
Yeah.
I think she had 30 of them. And the last I heard, she had sold 13.
Okay.
And Linda,
I talked to her about a week ago, a couple days ago, and she sold 18, and she has others that she's trying to put them out in banks and other areas in Napa City itself.
That's right.
and someone in this room is a proud recipient of one of them, a proud owner of one of the sheep. That would be Linda. They were so fun, and we didn't talk about Julie, meeting Julie, but Julie Epic of Epic Events is so active in the arts and busy that it makes your head spin. Mm-hmm. And she was instrumental in the Copia 2 days as she was putting these sheep together. And I think I talked about them before, but they were fairly good-sized sheep, cutouts, plywood cutouts, and they were given to artists who wanted to participate. And the artists painted and decorated them. And the first round, they were at businesses downtown. And then she rounded them all up and brought them to Copia. And she was out there hustling, that girl, I'll tell you. She was working the crowd. And every time I saw her, she had, well, I got another one. And I really give her a lot of credit because they were really fun. But it kind of took her engagement to make people really feel alive about them. So she did a great job. And they were very fun. Yeah.
One other thing I'd add is that she really, I think, is trying to not only support the arts in Napa, but integrate all of us in the arts and doing things with the arts in the county. And so one of the things, if you do go to the Jessup opening on the 25th, I would recommend you introduce yourself and that you're part of the council or the commission, so that she gets to know all of the commissioners and can figure out where to connect and what to do and all. Even you, Cindy.
She's a spirit, I will say. She's got a lot of plans, and she's one of the artists that I mentioned earlier, the sculptors. She's working with us on that, and very pleasant to work with and really a go-getter. So she's a really good connection. Thank you for making that connection. I had met her, but no connection at all until you set the meeting up that I was half an hour late for. So, well,
What's her name again?
Julie Epic, E-P-P-I-C-H.
Wow.
Epic
Great
Events.
name.
Mm-hmm. Epic Events.
I think it's 5.
Yes.
I was already thinking about planning something like that for next year's mustard celebration. I
The-
talked to her about different ideas
Oh, good.
for next year.
Different than sheep? Is it? Or, yeah. Oh, I can only imagine. That's great. I wouldn't doubt that she could pull off whatever she chooses to. Yeah. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
She's very energetic. It's great.
And she gathers good support from a lot of people. She makes connections and figures out how to pull things together, I think, in a very integrative community way.
Yep. Absolutely. A name to remember. Epic.
A name that's hard to forget.
Yes. It's kind of an epic name, don't you think?
Great name.
Okay. Sam, Art Sip and Stroll.
Yes. So I put some things in the staff report as well, but I'll just go over them quickly. So we're in really good shape. We have our 74 confirmed artists with the waiting list still. I put 21, but I was wrong. It's 20 confirmed wineries, but we also have a waiting list of wineries. we have updated the event layout, and so we will be continuing at the Estate Yountville like we have in the past, as well as the community center property. But we are going to close Yount Street from Washington, and the hard closure will end at the Bartisono driveway. So that will be our event area. And then we'll have it closed at Fennell with a security person to allow free access to the 2 lodging properties that are in that span so that we're not impacting their business. But we're going to utilize that area and have permission from the old La Calenda, which it's in transition as something right now, but to use that parking lot at the edge of the Y. And we'll have our food trucks there and a stage for the musicians, and then a lot of seating in that area. So instead of spreading the musicians about, we're going to focus on one main area and focus our food trucks in one main area with a lot of seating. So kind of tiptoeing into the street closure without really impacting really anyone. We will have professional security we've hired at Fennell and Yount so that we make sure our partners at Bartisono and Petit Logis have easy access to all of their properties, and Maison Fleury. So we didn't want to create a hardship in that, but I think it'll create a nice area for the event. So we are really pushing our marketing efforts right now. So we're again working with Sonoma Media, which is the marketing arm of the Press Democrat. And so they're terrific because they match our dollars because we apply, we contract through our 501c3. So they actually match our marketing dollars. So we have 6 rounds of various online marketing that's going through their website and mobile version. And then you'll see 4 printed ads that are coming out on specific dates, and 2 of those are sponsored. And so it's 2 are 1 6-page ads and 1 is a quarter-page ad. So it's pretty significant. We're working with the KVON for radio spots, and then we've typically run a contest the week of for tasting packages to kind of build momentum. Caitlin's been terrific and programming our Facebook and Instagram ads. So we do paid posts and advertisements around the event, and then you'll start to see a daily cycle of ads that focus on individual artists. So I believe those start today. Is that correct?
Yes, 2 were launched earlier today.
Yeah. So 2 a day will highlight artists. The rack cards, as Rhonda mentioned, are coming, so we'll get those distributed when we get them. We've also been sending out some targeted emails from Yountville Arts, and then emails and posts from the Yountville Chamber are coming. I know, as Noelle mentioned, it was in their newsletter, but typically the chambers assist us with a targeted email, and then they post on their social media for the event as well. So I'm not sure if you've looked, but Caitlin spent a lot of time updating artsipstroll.com website, so each artist has their own featured page, and then all the participating wineries are listed as well as the featured food trucks. We also have an FAQ page, and as soon as we lock in the musicians with their contracts, we'll add a musicians page. And it was kind of fun. I think I'm a data nerd at heart, but I landed in Parks and Rec. But what I love about our website is that it's so great with the data. So we've had 1,700 sessions, which means like visits to our website, and over 1,300 unique visitors in the last 30 days, which is great. And even more fun for me is that it breaks it down where those people come from. So half of them are coming from Facebook. So that tells us that the money we spend on Facebook marketing is beneficial. And then followed by those who come directly to the website, and then people who find us through Google. And then there's some other small sprinklings in there, but what's super interesting to me is 77% of people access it from their mobile device, so their phones. So it really helps us, and we talk about this marketing as a whole, is that how people are receiving your information. You just need to be really sure that your website and anything you're pushing out is phone friendly, because that's where 77% of these people are looking at it. So it's super interesting. Noelle noted a little earlier, we're trying to really be creative and branch out as far as local marketing is concerned. The whole printed marketing and news in our area has definitely been shifting, and so we're trying to figure out if there are other ways of reaching people that we may be missing. So if you have any input or, hey, have you thought about this? We're always open to hearing those things. But the event has been posted on every regional or local calendar that we can imagine, and including on nextdoor.com. So we're just really trying to branch out in how we make sure people know. Our tasting package sales slightly behind last year, but not significant for this time. We sold 75. That sounds low, I understand, but it's when I run year to year, this time period, it's not significantly lower. It's slightly lower, so I'm not worried. And the nice thing about having 20 wineries as opposed to, I think last year we were 14, is that we're able to have more tasting packages available. So most likely on the day of the event, I'm hoping, everyone who comes up gets a tasting package, and we're not turning away people that are frustrated on the day of. So, but I am going to be reaching out for volunteers. I have some that help every year, but if you, I like the ability of the commissioners to just be wandering around and talking to artists and meeting. But if you know anybody who might want to volunteer at one of the sales booths, we do a couple-hour shift, and then they get a tasting package in return. Just have them reach out to me. We could use a few more volunteers.
So how many tasting packages are we going to be able to have this year? We usually have 1,000.
We usually have 1,000. I feel pretty confident with 1,300, 1,250, 1,300. Yeah. So I think we can sell that out very easily.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then you said we're on Instagram?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
And we're on K-Vine.
We will be, yeah. Usually, I don't start with them this far out. Usually, that's like 3 weeks in advance. So I'm waiting for their proposal back, and then we'll get that all scheduled.
Cool.
Yeah.
Also, now that we have the full packet, the ad that went in the magazine is.
Yeah, except that's the one with the wrong date. I keep doing that.
We all.
I finally went through and deleted every file of that I could find.
No, this one has the right date.
Oh, it does?
Yes.
Oh, I changed that packet. I did not change the one that I emailed you, so we're okay. Yeah. It's so hard to see.
It takes a village, and still it takes more.
Yeah. So we also, Rhonda mentioned earlier, I don't remember what meeting, it might not have been this one we're on TV with, but that we do send marketing assets out to all the artists as well. So we send them the link to our Facebook event so they can share that. We send the pieces that were included in your packet. And then we also offer to mail them out some rack cards too. So we really try to get the artists to market themselves as well. So I think it's going to be a great event. It's going to be perfect weather. Everyone's going to be happy. It's going to be smooth.
Samantha, are we on Blue Sky as well?
We are not yet on Blue Sky.
I recommend we check it out.
Okay.
It's relatively new, but more and more people are going to that as an alternative too.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a look at it.
Thank you.
So, and Marita, thank you, mentioned Sacramento, and when we were talking before the meeting, we never said Sacramento. Mm-hmm. Huge market. Mm-hmm. They also have, they used to have 2 newspapers. I don't know anymore if they still have 2, but I know they at least have 1.
I can look into that.
I wonder.
Yeah, I'll definitely reach out.
Yeah.
And I think, too, a couple years ago, I had built a distribution list that was broader than what our communications list through the town might normally be, because, we're not typically sending press releases that far. But I think with Caitlin and I will go back and update that and distribute things, but then also reach out about some paid advertisement. It's a good suggestion.
And maybe through the chamber. I don't know if our chamber or you to the chamber there or whatever. And I don't know how, I honestly don't know the Sacramento market. I know that there are districts of Sacramento, and it's hard to reach all of the districts. And of course, being the state capital, there are political districts, and those, it's hit or miss if you can reach them.
Yeah.
But I think it's worth a try.
Yeah, we'll definitely look into it. I think, too, with our paid advertisements with Instagram and Facebook, you're able to set like a geographic area to focus on. And so we kind of play around with that a little bit to see. And then utilizing, I've been data looking, our list from last year, and we sent a direct email to everybody from last year, and then I compared how many people actually came back and bought a ticket after I sent that email. That's been actually our most successful outreach to date. So,
Which was what, Sam?
I sent a direct email to every ticket holder from last year, reminding them, and then I cross-referenced any sales after that, and that equated our biggest jump we've had. So
You do like data.
it's weird, right? I don't know what part of my
It's
brain
awesome.
that comes from, but I'm like, I'm going to look at this and that, because I think what I'm interested in is just what's the best use of our time and money marketing wise, because there's so many different options in that it's changing so rapidly, and we're losing some and others, and for other reasons. Blue Sky is another one where people are stopping using Facebook and Instagram and moving to a different thing. So, I'm just, it's a very time consuming thing to do, marketing in general. And so the data interests me. I'm like, okay, well, if 50% of our people are coming from Facebook, then that's a good use of our time to our website, or, things like that. So.
And it makes it all more effective and efficient in terms of what we spend.
Yeah, and I think, we were talking about it earlier, you put a lot of time and effort into things like writing a press release or directing things, and I want us to feel confident that those are being utilized how they best can. And so,
Do we geo-target south past the Bay Area down into Monterey and Carmel?
I don't typically.
Maybe
we were
should.
looking at like a 2-hour radius, but we can do some spot down there and see. Yeah.
Just a little bit, because I would think those people might come up and stay in
For the
Yountville
weekend.
for the weekend.
Yeah, we can definitely look at doing that.
Does the Sacramento market include Davis?
It can.
It does.
Okay, good. Because they have
We
both
also have a
good,
contact in Davis. I'll reach out.
both their art program and their wine would make this seem a natural too for.
Well, it's
some
just as
people
easy
in
to
Davis.
drive from Sacramento as it is from San Francisco. Probably easier.
And easier from Davis, yeah.
Yeah, we can expand. I mean, we can dabble our reach in a lot of different ways and kind
Okay.
of see how it, equates. And really, we really don't know until the end of the day, but we base it on the tasting package sales because that's what we can track, right?
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully that relates a little bit to where all these people are coming from, because, typically we have 4 times the amount of people that we know are in town, but only a quarter of them bought a tasting package. So, but that's what we can track is those
Sam,
people.
where do most people come from outside of Napa?
Historically, they're coming from like a 90-minute radius. And so I think because we went with the Press Democrat last year, although their reach is Bay Area, we did see a big increase in people coming from Sonoma County last year. And so then you're looking at, Walnut Creek area.
Right.
Typically, it's these more affluent plugs a little bit, which is interesting. And I think as you get closer to Sacramento, the housing prices drop a little bit. And so you may not be in that same arena, but it doesn't mean we can't, keep doing that. I think, people, when we switch from come to a wine event to come to buy art at an art event, it's a very different demographic of people. I think sometimes that when you're doing these, the people that you're focused on, and that's what the Press Democrat and the Sonoma Index or Sonoma Media, they're targeting people specifically, that have interests in these certain areas. So, but we can just do geographic and see, what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same with Silicon Valley. and that
absolutely.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we went with, I think right now we're looking at like a 90-minute or 2-hour radius drive time. If we went to 3, it would encompass the majority of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Good feedback. Thank you.
It's a big
Thanks
job.
for all
Want
your
any
efforts
data?
with
Let me
Thank
know.
you.
Yeah.
Data here and there.
Keep eating that geek food.
And I just wanted to say too, Caitlin, I mean, I can't even tell you how I'm excited on a daily basis that she came to work here for us. And she knocks us. She's been, all of these ads you're going to see, when you make 74 different ads for, each artist, it's significant. And then uploading those things, it was very tedious updating a website. So I just can't thank her enough for her help. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you, Sam.
And for your leadership too, Sam, in getting all this taken care of.
Yeah.
It's what we do. It's what we do.
do it so
I only have one staff informational report, if that's okay. So I did just, I know we've alluded to it with Cindy a little bit, but I just want to remind you that we do have Judy's seat, Marita's seat, and Cindy's seat are expiring in July. And so you will see a recruitment open. We're hoping some of you reapply. I know we already know one person is not, so we will have one unfilled seat. But I believe it's April. I think it's the third week of April. I tried to find the date that Hillary told me that'll open. But when it does open for applicants, I'll send that out to you all so that you know that information. And then the council's new process is that if there are the same amount of applicants as there are positions, they don't hold interviews. But if we have more applicants than positions, they will hold interviews. But those dates will be given to you up front, so you know when to look for that. So, and if you have any questions, please let me know.
So who's renewing? I'm sorry.
Cindy, Judy, and Marita's seats. Yes.
So when you talk about interviews, you mean those commissioners that are already in a seat? What about new? If there's one new person applying for one position, they don't get interviewed, they're automatically accepted?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the new process. That's
Okay,
am I wrong?
So
No, not if there's the same amount.
No, I thought she was asking if there was someone returning, like if
Oh, no.
did I misunderstand?
I think so. But just to clarify, so if there is one seat and there's two applicants, regardless if they're the incumbent or not, they would both interview. Mm-hmm. Is that what you were asking? So
or if there's a new person applying for a position that haven't been on, but there's not the person commissioner's not reapplying, they would not be interviewed as well.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they would review the application and appoint on that. They wouldn't require an interview.
Okay, so at least the review of the application.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, there is some sort of review process. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, but unless there's more applicants than seats, they're not requiring everyone to come to an interview.
Right.
So I also sit on the town,
TOICF.
Yeah, TOICF.
Yes.
So somebody.
Yeah, so at our August meeting, we'll have that on the agenda. So we would need a new commissioner to fill the Yountville Art seat on the Town of Yountville Community Foundation, which meets quarterly. So you can all think about that. Yeah. But as far as we know, Cindy's not coming back, so you're hearing us talk about some of the roles that Cindy has filled and what staff can take on now versus, other commissioners. So. But she's not leaving us. She'll be right there. Right there.
Check with Jim McDonald. You think you can
I
leave,
know.
but we pull you right back in.
I'll be alum.
I did want to suggest, so maybe you could all think about it between now and then, is that I would love to somehow acknowledge Jim, because he really, every time we ask about a tour, he just is there. And so, you can kind of brainstorm might be a way to acknowledge him. Not even just, I'm not thinking publicly or anything, but is there a way we could just make sure he knows how much we appreciate that? So,
And he would eat that up.
yeah, so think about it.
Mm-hmm.
He would. Mm-hmm. He would. I know he loves doing what he does, too.
He does, yeah. Okay, thank you, Sam. Thank you. So any commissioner comments or any reports that we haven't covered?
I did want to mention that April the 23rd, my husband and I are driving to Illinois with our daughter, and we've not seen her home that she purchased there in Galena, Illinois. Galena, Illinois is the same size as Yountville. It's artistic and delightful, and actually my husband and I went there for our first wedding anniversary all those years ago, and now my daughter owns a home there. Anyway, so we are then driving back and going to a couple of the national parks on the way home. So I'll miss about 4 weeks. Sorry, I won't be here for the May council meeting.
or
Do they
Arts
have
Up
an
and
arts commission in Galena?
I'll find out.
I was going to say, you need to do some reconnaissance, find
I
out what they're
will.
doing that we can pirate from.
I will. Yeah. They do have, that's a very historic town. That's where Ulysses S. Grant was born. And so they have a Ulysses S. Grant. Actually, there were like 9 generals from the Union side of the Confederate or the Revolutionary War. No, the war between the North and the South. So, yeah, there are about 9 generals who were born there and are buried there. And my son-in-law now works for the Ulysses S. Grant home and I guess it's a library. I'll find out. But anyway,
Cool.
I just needed to let you know that I'll be away for a while, and
Will you be here for Art Sip and Stroll?
I will not.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I hate to miss it,
Yeah.
but I'm hoping that my contacts will be there and Rhonda can show them around.
Sometimes we do miss it. Yeah. Absolutely. All of us.
We will miss you,
Thank you.
or I will. I won't speak for everyone.
Are we,
So will I.
all those that agree with we, say aye.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for filling us in. The only other thing I had under Art Walk that I didn't say was we've been hearing about the condition of the mural, and so I just wanted you to know that we're looking into contacting the artists to come and refurbish it, which it needs. It's been 9 or 10 years, and it's damp in there, and it's faded on the ends from the sun, and it's time. It's a process, and we don't even know how much it's going to cost. Those girls, women, they'll probably be expensive. They usually are.
Yeah, I mean, when they came and did the doors, it wasn't exorbitant. It's just lodging, obviously, it is. But I walked by and I took a really good look at it, and I think with more of a deep cleaning, we'll see quite an improvement. A lot of it is dirt and drips from the roadway, and the edges, where it's mostly hidden from the sun, but on the edges it's obviously not. And so and there's a lot of some crumbling concrete on the edges that we can't necessarily do much about. So our first step is we're going to get it cleaned really well. That's going to happen before Art Sip and Stroll, and as well as all of the art, all the sculpture, and then we can assess it from there. I'll take some really good pictures and send them to the artists so that they can assess it at least by photo, and then we'll go from there.
So if anybody mentions it, we just wanted you to know that it's a work in progress, and we're aware of it.
Okay, that's good to know.
It's great because I really quite like that one. I think it's fun. I mean, you don't think about it as much with the art walk, but it's really unique and fun.
It is.
Memory of a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Okay. So is there a move to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So motion carries. Thank you. Thank you all.